in his life. Travis is Batman, Jimmy's Wolverine. Small town heroes and places unseen. They got capes, but they got dreams. Fighting the shadows, splitting at the seams. Travis on his tractor, doing his part. Pretending city problems never break his heart. Comes in outside, he plays a new role. Guarding the quiet streets, it's his.
Oh, sorry, I had to wet the weasel. But welcome to Random Nonsense for our very special 2-hour episode of Batman, where we will be discussing movies, comics, TV shows, all the plethora. That I know what word I'm trying to. Thank you. That's the word I'm trying to get out, but my mouth wasn't working. That word of Batman. I am here with my friend Hefty, of course, as we always do.
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pretend I know shit about what we're talking about. So this would be
You'll
good.
be fine. You like the OG Batmans. But on that note, we have two guests that are going to be joining us tonight. One from our chat. Well, both of them from our chat, obviously. I'm a dum-dum. Our friend Groovy, who was with us a few weeks ago, and our friend Ojisan. So let's bring them on.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? Are we started?
Yeah. Yeah, we're
good.
I'm so
excited, guys. I'm so excited.
You can't shut him up about this shit.
Man, those are gnarly claws.
Right? I kind of want a pair now. After he showed me those the other day, I was like, ooh, no, I want some.
Yeah, I had the cheap ones before, but these are the better ones.
Yeah, those are legit, man.
Yeah, those look fucking real.
Man.
Hi, Pam.
Hey, it's great to be here, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on, both of these guys.
You know, you guys' stream is one of the few ones that we still watch. Like we were big into the big community, and
thank you.
There's a few folks that we still keep up with, and we just like watching you guys hang out and have a good time.
Thanks so much, man.
That means a lot to us.
Yeah, and you guys are great peeps, man. We talk about you guys pretty much. You guys are most of the topic of conversation when we're not on air, anyway. And it's pretty much just digitally sucking you guys off and telling you how awesome you are. Between me and JJ.
That is why I've been feeling stuff in my nether region.
Yes,
It's kind of like scratching, itchy of the hand.
It's in the cupping, definitely.
It's the sensation. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. That was me. I do the little twisty thing.
Yeah.
Like a grapefruit when you're trying to look at it.
Yeah.
We had our run back in the day. We're here to help, though. We are here to help.
Nah, we love you guys. We appreciate you very much, man. That means a lot, you know.
Mm.
It really
does.
So
And I've shared it out, and make sure people hit that thumbs up. So it adds us in the algorithm. So make sure to hit that.
Up in them.
Get that third knuckle, right?
Not the third knuckle.
I didn't know there was a third one. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, but we rushed to get off work, and we're here, and we are ready.
I even blow dried my hair. I'm trying to bring back the feathered hair. You know?
I was going to say,
pulled mine back to keep it flat, so it's not all afro-y tonight. So see, we all did something nice today.
Not me.
You look fine though, Heft.
Oh,
you should grow a mohawk, bro. Like grow the hawk.
No,
seriously, grow the hawk.
I
think it'd be cool.
Just grow it all out. That's what we're all doing. Just grow it all out.
I wish I would just go bald. It would save me like time for fucking haircuts and everything.
Cindy, I don't
What's
quite have enough for the man bun yet, Cindy.
Really? You're just taking a shot across the board right there.
Yeah, he doesn't mean it.
I know he doesn't, but damn, just think if he did mean that, like coming in a room full of nerds and just saying Batman sucks right off the rip. Someone's getting
as you see my entire bat cave.
If I had to rank like comic book heroes, Batman would probably be about number 5 for me. I like Batman, but he's not like my.
Well, who'd be number 1? Wolverine, I'm assuming.
Wolverine, yeah.
Okay. I should have guessed.
We'll get his own episode. We're done. Shut up about stupid short guy with fucking claws. Okay.
I
flail. Short King Wolverine, baby.
Oh, this is gonna be a good show. I
Well,
can smell it already.
We don't talk shit about Wolvie in this house either. We like Wolvie.
Hey, you've seen the
here.
Batman Sons.
We are here to discuss Batman. So stop sidetracking, or else I'll be like, hey, you know what? That Jimmy guy, don't ever bring him on ever again. Okay.
If
Don't
we
ever
are
bring
going to
him on.
discuss Batman, we have to start with the man himself, Mr.
Oh
West.
well. First,
If we're
before we go to the series, we're gonna go through each of the different Batmans. But I think a lot of people get misconceptions when it comes to Batman overall because they say he's a superhero. He is not a superhero. Okay, Batman is a hero. He is not a superhero. He does not have superpowers. He hangs out with super friends, but he is not a superhero himself, and that's why I have had such an affinity for Batman because he's a street level hero. He's not about saving the entire world. Yeah, he will go up with the Justice League up in the space. You know what I'm talking about, the space satellite, whatever, where they hang out. But Superman and stuff can melt icebergs. Batman can't. So the reason I love him, I mean, he's rich and nuts.
Isn't that a country group?
It is. It should be if
It's
it's
a
not.
great band name if it's not.
I know there's a rich in something or something. I don't know. Get me sidetracked, Jimmy. But what I'm saying is his intelligence. Like that's the problem I have with a lot of Batman movies. They go away from the intelligence, and like that's why. And I'm not going right into this movie, but the Batman. That's why I have a huge affection for that movie because that movie he actually spent a lot of time being the actual detective. Like they keep saying he's a detective. You never see him detect anything. It's always just like computer does something and he goes somewhere.
Oh.
He doesn't actually do detective work. And that's why I really appreciate that movie because they actually broke it down to where he was doing detective work.
Wait till we get to the Batman. I've got a hot take on this movie that drives Travis crazy.
But what we're saying is Batman is a street level hero. He's not a superhero.
I mean, I don't know if I call him street level.
He can take
He's
out
a billionaire.
But when he fights crime, he fights crime in his city. He fights crime at a level. He's not fighting crime and going against people that Superman fights or the Flash fights.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He does ground level, kind of like Daredevil for Marvel. Who's his arch nemesis? Kingpin. You know, like it's a street level. It's not a super villain. Okay. So that's where I say just getting the point across for Batman off the rip before people are like, well, as a superhero, he's not a superhero.
I do have a question since you brought up Daredevil. Best blowjob handles, Wolverine, Daredevil, or Batman?
Well, if you look at Wolverine, the animation of Wolverine with the his cowl, it's just two Batmans kissing. That's what it is. I'm serious. If you look at it, it's two Batmans kissing. So Batman wins just because Wolverine is trying to impersonate two Batmans kissing. So Batman is the best.
Batman Daredevil did come out 40 years before Wolverine. So
Daredevil is there's not really anything to hold on to, so you got to be a plunger to like, you know what I'm saying? So again, Batman wins. But okay, so that is just the idea of Batman. So I do want to ask before we get into like what makes you a fan of Batman? Like where did you come into the fandom? Did you start with like the animated series growing up as a kid? That's where I started. Movies, or what was it that made you like Batman? Or if you don't really care much for Batman, or if you don't know much about it, where did you get your knowledge of what you know from?
JJ, go for you. You first, bro. Or the guests. We can let the guests do their thing, I guess.
We'll let Ojisan go first, and I'll go, then you go. We'll just go around.
Well, when I was a kid, Batman was already, I grew up in the 70s, of course, because I'm old as hell. But back then, the animated Batman was the Super Friends, and it was the Scooby-Doo guest stars. But the TV show was still on quite a bit. And what really kind of got me into Batman originally was the 66 show, because Bruce Lee was on it one time. And like if Bruce Lee was on it, I was going to see it. So then I got all into the Green Hornet and Batman and stuff. And in the 80s, as going to high school and stuff, I really got into collecting Batman comics. One time I ditched school So I could go get the Death in the Family series off the shelf. Like I went and bought those off the shelf for 75 cents a piece.
I think we're going to talk about that here shortly, about that specific storyline.
But I ditched school to go do that because I was such a Batman fan. And then the Frank Miller series, The Dark Knight Returns and all that stuff, they just kind of put it over the top for me. Then they're, as you know, I do art, like when the Arkham Asylum come out, the artwork in that blew me away. And as far as the character of Batman, like the detective work, I'm more of a fan of just the badass ninja / Conan version of Batman than I am the detective Batman. So,
and I only do that in case you're not a fan of those. That way you kind of have like what they are. Same one.
Yeah, that one right there. Old
but
man
his
Batman
is so nice and clean. I beat mine up. Like I got a black wash on it, so now he looks all grungy and dirty. I put a bit of blood around his mouth, so now he looks a little beat up. Because that was my favorite shot in the comic book when he was all beat up trying to fight the Joker. And I'm like, that's the one I want on my shelf. So that's what I did with that Batman.
My favorite comic shot is in Arkham Asylum when he's going to stick the nail through his hand to bring himself back to sanity. Like you can just see, like you can feel it the way they painted that. It was awesome. So.
Say I got into Batman because I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, so they watched a lot of old shit before I was born. So me and my grandfather used to watch the old Batman together, and he would tell me about when he was a kid. It's the serials and all that. So from like a young age, like I was really into Batman. And then by the time I was maybe 4 after that came out, because it came out right before I was born. So then I got into that as I got older, and then it went into the cartoons and then the games, and everything else just kind of followed suit. Like I went head first into Batman for a lot of the same things that you said about it. Like it was cool to me to see someone, even though they're rich and they can buy anything they want, like going to like save their own place where they live because they care that much about it. And as a kid, that like stuck in my head. I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like you want to protect these people in this city, which you have no like real, like you don't really have to do this. Like there's no rhyme to why you do it other than it was the right thing to do because of what he went through as a kid. And I'm like, all right, this is a cool dude. And that's where I fell in love with Batman.
Nice.
I don't know who Batman is. I don't know. I just showed up because I thought this was a cool show. I think mine came from the show, like in syndication, the Adam West one. And I loved that because it was like super it was so campy that it was entertaining. And I think I kind of always had like a penchant towards that kind of stuff. And then, the Batman movie came out and it was like dark and it was gritty. And it was like the Jack Nicholson was like, and still is, in my opinion, the best Joker. And Batman was incredible, and it was just
about that later too.
Elfman's score, and it just kind of was like, wow, man. And then like I used to read Cracked magazine and Mad magazine a lot, and they did like stuff on that, and then I just I got involved pretty hard into that stuff, and then like Batman Returns came out, and I was like, okay, we're getting a little weirder here, but okay, let's get. Danny DeVito was fantastic in that. And of course, Michelle Pfeiffer. Fun completely intended.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then over the years, I was kind of like, and then they did the Christian Bale Batman, and I'm pretty sure I saw all of them, and they were fine. But I think I just kind of lost my thing with Batman like a long time ago, and I was like,
I get that.
I just fell towards the horror shit, and I was like, Batman's great. He's cool. He's got a special place in my heart.
But he's not Jason Voorhees.
He's not
Jason Voorhees. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but I still respect the hell out of Batman. But I mean, a very lucrative IP. Over the years. So
and to answer Cindy, it's Dick Grayson all day. Cindy, Dick Grayson's the best Robin.
Yes, not the most lethal Robin, but the best.
Best, definitely. I agree.
Not the most lethal though. Damian was way more.
Oh yeah, he was brutal. But then again, look where he was raised. I mean, he kind of grew up having to do that
with League of Assassins. Yeah.
So, how old were you guys when '89 came out?
Can I tell mine?
Yeah, no, I'm just asking how old you were when '89 in '89. You were 10.
I was 3.
I was 17. 5.
I was 5.
Okay.
And
okay.
I could tell you, before the animated series came out in '92.
Well, we're out of time, folks. Thanks for watching so much.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Continue, please.
He's gonna be in you soon if you're not careful. He's right under you.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah. Remember this? Yes, the other.
Yeah.
Oh. It's the teabag perspective.
Yes.
But so when we were talking about, so the animation came out in 91, 92, the animated series. I actually saw Batman 89 in theater. I remember it vividly. And the part I remember the most out of that whole movie, it's not even Nicholson. It is the intro with, of course, Danny Elfman, the whole musical score. But then them doing the pass through, which ends up being the Batman emblem. And as a kid, I was like, what is going on? And then it all came together and it blew my mind as a kid. And then it goes right into the 2 crooks that steal the stuff. And then Batman on the roof. And then tell everybody, I'm Batman.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I just remember, I was telling you guys earlier, like, I remember how pissed off we all were to find out that Michael Keaton had been cast as Batman. Because I was 17, I was expecting Dolph Lundgren, Schwarzenegger, somebody, and they cast Michael Keaton, and we're all just like, "What the fuck? This is gonna suck." And then it turned out to be fucking awesome. It was like perfect. So,
see that's the benefit of being so young when it came out, because I didn't know Michael Keaton as Mr. Mom and that stuff. I grew up as Michael Keaton as Batman, and all the other stuff looked weird to me because I'm like, but that's Batman. Like,
yeah.
It was Batman, and then it was Beetlejuice, like those two.
Yep.
And I was a huge fan of Beetlejuice, but I still hate the second movie. It sucks.
Okay.
But I really loved the first one. But Michael Keaton, that was the big thing. Or like, I don't know. Michael Keaton as Batman, even to this day, if I just hear him, like when he's up on a stage doing a presentation and he says I'm Batman, I get a nerd chub, dude.
That's so awesome.
But Michael Keaton's got the cool factor that Batman needs. That would have been missed out on with a Dolph Lundgren or a muscle guy. He's got the cool factor that you need for Bruce Wayne and Batman.
I think he was very unassuming as Bruce. You know what I mean? Like with Dolph Lundgren or Arnold Schwarzenegger, they're just muscle bound, meatheads. Yeah. So like, hello, I am Bruce Wayne. Nice to meet you. Yeah. It's like, you're a billionaire. Where are the drugs? Where are the drugs coming from?
He must be the wicked people. No, I gotta be island.
But see, that's where shit, what's the director's name?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. That's where Tim Burton kind of changed things, because that was really, it used to be that classic casting where they looked like the character.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad Tim Burton, he was kind of the guy that changed a lot of that with Batman 89. He changed it for me anyway.
I agree.
And the biggest thing that stands out for 89, I guess we'll just start going through the movies. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Right there. Sure.
So 89, I'm telling you right now, there is no Batmobile that is cooler than the 89 Batmobile. I don't care about your Tumblr. I don't care about Forever, Batman Robin with neon lights. The original OG 89 Batmobile. That one. Or in Lego.
Yep.
Or tons of 89 Batman around everywhere.
It just had that cool look. It was slick. Then the guns popped out. Like if you really look at it as a thing, like it was the coolest Batmobile, because none of the other ones had guns other than it's the Tumbler. So like, why did he only have guns?
Have you seen the Lego guns?
The rest of it.
Have you seen it?
Fucking shield locks it down in place. Like that is by far the best Batmobile.
Oh yeah, I watched him put this thing together for like freaking hours and hours.
God, if he dropped it, I would cry. Like I would sit here and cry for him.
So this is the Lego one.
Oh, that's so cool.
If anyone's watching this and wants to know what I want for Christmas, you're looking at it over there.
Guns
Oh,
pop out.
nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I mean, I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'll find a shelf space for it.
Then you put them back down, and you put this back on. I just wanted to show you the guns.
That's so cool.
That's by far the best one.
Don't drop it. But also, I think the 89 Batwing is better than any other Batwing that was ever produced as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to have the shot with the moon. I mean,
Yeah, which was great. It made the giant Batman.
And then when it just, like fell out of the
Yeah.
sky afterwards, just did that like arc, made
Yeah.
it even so much more like
Well, and
iconic.
the sound of it too was cool.
Yeah.
You know, like
How come nobody
And it had
told me you
Prince
had
in the
one of those?
soundtrack. Come on, Prince was in the
things.
soundtrack. It made that movie so much better.
He stole my balloons.
Well,
He stole my balloons. Bob Gunn.
Bah! Yep.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
I'm really torn on the like if
Oh, by
Nicholson
the
was
way,
the best Joker
Bob,
ever, but
89 Batman.
I agree
toy.
with you on that one.
There's Bob right there.
That's fantastic. I didn't know Bob got his own action figure. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he doesn't look anything like Bob. Nothing. Nothing. I had it as a kid. It looks nothing like Bob.
yeah. Looks like the
89.
Puppet Master thing. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like Blade. Yeah, that's
I
funny.
had that one as a kid. I played the shit out of that thing.
Anyway, so 89 Batman. I that's gonna go with the whole discussion with the Joker. Jack Nicholson for me is the best Joker. I did love Heath Ledger's. I loved it, but it's not that he was more of
Oh, I'm
well,
going straight
he's
Jared
chaos.
Leto. No.
We don't discuss
Whoa.
that one.
Oh,
Oh,
We don't
we're
talk
going
about
to,
that Joker.
and we're gonna shit all over it. So
Sorry, Jared, but we're gonna shit on you.
I'm gonna shit on you. Ooh. Anyway, but
All that chit chat's gonna get you hurt.
Jared Leto.
Where was his
I don't even want to
eyebrow?
talk about it. Heath Ledger's Joker was the agent of chaos, and he had his own like ethics code and everything.
Mhm.
Jack Nicholson didn't really have an ethics code. He was just all over the place.
yeah.
And I love how they incorporated like the flour with the acid, and like they actually incorporated gags with him. Heath Ledger, they did the same thing like with the magic pencil disappearing.
That
and, like,
was funny.
The little pool.
That's
And
great.
like he had a lot of funny lines, but it wasn't intentional. Like, I mean, it was intentional in the movie, but I'm saying it wasn't
Like him
just
trying to be
random.
fun.
Yeah.
See, in '89, you're only about 20 years out from the old original with Cesar Romero series. You know,
Right there.
there you go. Yeah. So they brought a lot of the Cesar Romero Joker from the show into Jack Nicholson's.
I agree with that.
Does Cesar Romero have the mustache underneath the paint in that one?
That's
You
a
can
good
see him.
question. Yes,
That's
yes, it does.
that is my favorite part about
Yeah, me
Caesar's
too.
Joker. Like it still
Because
had
he
the
wouldn't
mustache.
shave
Still,
it.
he
He
wouldn't shave
refused
it,
to shave it.
I wouldn't either. I'd be like, you kidding
I-
me?
like,
No,
no,
it's
I don't
gross.
have any of the Caesar Jokers, but I got like the old 66 Batman. I got the one where he's the surfboard
Yeah.
with the shark
Oh, that's
repellent,
cool.
and then it's just the regular one right there.
Up until the late '80s, the Cesar Romero version of the Joker, that
all we
was the
had.
Joker. That
Yeah.
was the comics. That
The
was the
highly
TV
regarded
show.
one.
That was
Yeah.
everything. It didn't change. It didn't get dark till the late '80s.
And I feel kind of like I'm cheapening it because I really didn't watch the 66 TV show. Like I've
Yeah,
seen
fine.
episodes. I've seen the Penguin. I've seen the Joker. I've seen Catwoman. Oh, she was hot back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Which one?
Um,
Three.
either one. Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt,
all
yeah,
of them.
all
You
of
would-
them.
it would
yeah.
like
Fair enough.
it would take
Batgirl,
Superman's.
man, and from the
It
series.
would take
oh,
Superman to pry my tongue out their booty hole either way, so it don't matter.
Yeah,
Yes, we had a butt joke today.
Well, much like Harley Quinn was created for the animated show, Batgirl was created for the TV, the '66 show.
Oh, we're gonna get to Harley Quinn. She is my I hate Harley Quinn. I hate her so fucking much. But anyway, but I didn't want to cheapen and pass up 66 Batman. It's just I don't really have a lot. I know Adam West, and Adam West, another one of those guys who is great for all of his fans, would do anything for his fans.
Oh, he did a lot of his
Until-
fans. He did a lot of his fans. He
Yeah,
did a
I
lot.
heard that
Well,
too.
that's
Yeah.
true. But also up until
Adam
the
West
day
is
he
cool.
up until the day he passed, like he was still going to hospitals for like kids with cancer, dressing up as Batman. Like he used his fame for good stuff. So I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Adam West and all things Batman. And every time they pay homage to something back from Adam West, like the shark repellent or anything that they just kind of put in little things, it just makes you feel good. But really mine started with the 89.
Yeah. See, Adam West played it so campy, but also respectfully campy. I don't know how to describe it. Like he wasn't just shitting over it.
Yeah.
No.
Like it was campy, but it was respectful campy, you know.
Mhm.
Like he
So-
appreciated being Batman. You could tell.
I mean, it may be easier instead of going through each Batman movie and all that stuff. Just who's your favorite Batman and who's your least favorite Batman?
I got to take a little station identification break. I'll be right back.
Sure, no
So-
problem.
I'll start while he's gone because he's heard my stuff before. So my favorite Batman will always be Michael Keaton. I don't care. The problem is I love Michael Keaton so much as Batman, but I refuse to watch The Flash. I have not seen the new Flash movie with Michael Keaton. I refuse to watch it. I refuse to pay money for it. I refuse to even pirate it and watch it for free.
Wow.
So I have not seen. I've seen little clips of him in that movie. I know he crashes the Batwing into one of the people, like it's going to do anything to them. But you know, I don't see Batman fighting Zod or any of the other people from Krypton and doing anything, which in the movie he didn't, evidently. Like it's just he should be fighting people within his power level.
Which I get that.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah,
kind of deal.
Michael Keaton will always be my favorite. And as I said, like when they showed Danny DeVito and Schwarzenegger at an award ceremony, and then like they were sitting together and they were talking as villains, and then there's like, I'm Batman. Like it's just like he's got that cool factor, and that's what I know him from. I know him from that and Beetlejuice before I watched Multiplicity or Mr. Mom or any of that. And my least favorite Batman, is Clooney. Clooney is my least favorite Batman.
That was a toss-up for me too between him and Kilmer.
No, I actually like Kilmer. My second, it is a close between Clooney and Ben Affleck for me. I hate Ben Affleck's Batman. But Jimmy's going to explain why he likes it. And then after he explains why he likes it, I will explain why I hate it. Just look.
I like Ben Affleck's Batman because, like I said, I am more into the Conan Ninja style fucking Batman, which is what Ben Affleck was. Like he was just straight up murdering people, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought Ben Affleck did a good job. Just the script sucked really bad in Batman versus Superman. You know, the Martha shit. Like it's like, what the hell are we doing here? They had such
Why do you know
golden
that name?
opportunity. Such a golden opportunity in their hand, and they fucked it up. I'm like, oh god.
Yep.
Should have put Pete Holmes in there.
Yeah.
Oh, amen.
But
You know,
don't-
can I
we'll
change
talk
my
about
answer? I think Pete Holmes is my favorite Batman.
Pete Holmes,
Let's be
there
honest.
you go. He's the bad man, though. He's not.
But the reason I hate Ben Affleck as Batman, not because of Ben Affleck's acting, I hate the cowl. The cowl, like if you look at the cowl, you look at. Should I just pull up a picture and share it?
Yeah, do it.
If you look at Michael Keaton's cowl,
There you go.
like it's
both.
really wide, and you can see like his cheeks and stuff, so he can actually emote and show emotion.
Mhm.
Ben Affleck's it's fatter. They padded it, but it's so much skinnier on the mouth, so it's just around his mouth. It's not his cheeks as well. So it looks. I hate the way it looks.
I dug the look because it had that Dark Knight Returns. That's basically what they were modeling it off of. I dug it. I even like the armored suit, but I just
Yeah, I think they did good with that.
the script just was horrible. Like, how do you fuck that up? It's like fucking a Punisher movie up. They can't get that right either.
They've done that a couple times now.
Like it's laid out. You got the fucking comic books in your hand. Read them. Like it's already
Just go
storyboarded.
use the source material. That's what it's there for.
I think that's it.
Gotcha.
If we look at these cowls, like if you look at, see how his is really skinny, like right around his mouth, but you look at Keaton's and it's all the way outside his cheeks, almost underneath his, past his chin, so he can emote. Yeah, but it's all based off of. I was gonna scroll the way down, but I know it's Kilmer because it's got the little pointy thing,
the weird little points to it.
He's got the bat nipples.
Yeah, the bat nipples. I was like,
but if same thing, I didn't like Christian Bale's. Look how skinny his opening is for his cowl. I didn't like the way the cowl looked, and he had reasons for having an extended cowl, and it showed the antennas and the ears for his communication, so it made sense. There's no purpose for Ben Affleck's to be fat as fuck like that and having a little mouth. They didn't explain why it is. They were just trying to do the Frank Miller Dark Knight version, which I get it. I just don't like the way it looks for live action. In comic books, it looks awesome because he's got that big, broad chin, and usually it's got like the blood trickling and stuff like that. But when it's live action, it doesn't look as good.
For purely aesthetics, like Clooney's was the worst, but I don't like Christian Bale's at all. Like I don't like the suit. I don't like the look. I did not like the aesthetics of Christian Bale's.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
He's not wearing hockey pads. So
I'm not wearing.
For me, I'd say my favorite Batman is and it's going to be a cross between you both right now. It's a toss up between Keaton and fucking Bale, because like for some reason, like those are like the two that I love it's the most. Like I've watched all the movies and whatnot, but those two, like they're like my Batmans, because each one has their own thing that makes them unique to, I guess you'd say, their world. So what Keaton has in his world, it works, he's perfect, and what Bale has in his world, he's perfect. My least favorite Batman,
I would
George Clooney, because George Clooney just shit all over Batman, and I don't know why. I don't know why he had to shit on Batman so hard. And then the fact that they bring him back in the Flash at the end, and it's not Keaton that ends the movie, makes me want to fucking punch somebody in the face.
Wait, what happened?
So
I didn't watch it. I don't know.
You're good. So if you haven't watched the Flash movie, spoilers real quick. So the whole
don't worry, you can watch it for free as a pirate because you're not paying money for those freaks to get money. All right?
Exactly.
Fuck them.
So it's not a great movie in any way. The best parts of it are Keaton as Batman. They make the movie where you can actually sit through. You're like, all right, it was worth seeing him put on the cowl one more time, because he's got a sick fight scene in the movie, and he's just pulling people towards him, fucking clothesline him. Great scene.
Oh, using the grappling hook and stuff?
Yep. But by the end of the movie, because the Flash crosses the streams, they swap him out for George Clooney's Batman, and I don't know why. Like, he just shows up, and he's like, huh? And then his tooth falls out, and it's the end of the fucking movie. It was so bad. Pew! Oh, yeah,
wonderful toys.
Oh.
It's show and tell tonight. Haven't we noticed yet?
Yeah.
I haven't watched the Flash either. But I did see the fight scenes, and I'm just like, is he legitly like slinging Kryptonians around and shit? Like, I was like, no.
There's a few of those scenes that I'm like, he's like old Batman at this point, but they do it so well. You kind of go, I could see maybe he still got it in him to go up that way, but most of the time when he fights him, he dies.
If you've ever watched like the Bat in the Sun, the superpower beatdowns,
I love those.
There's a guy named Kevin Porter who plays Batman in those, who may be the best, like the best version of Batman on screen. I mean, his acting's not on par with the others, but as far as aesthetics, like that's almost like a perfect Batman that he does.
He does a good job, yeah.
I wanted to say too, I don't know if we've touched on this yet, but so the intro music was fantastic. I was rocking out at the beginning. I thought it was hilarious. You guys did a great job on that.
Travis is Batman,
Yeah,
James
dude.
Wolverine.
I thought that was
Catchy as
fantastic,
shit.
and it was very well produced. It was funny, it made me smile. You guys did a really good job on that. So thank you for letting us use that. Also, that was really cool. Yeah, you guys
took
really
us exactly enough time to type in the
AI.
thing. Travis is Batman, Jimmy's Wolverine, and it come up with
the whole song came out.
What?
Wait, really?
Yeah,
That's ingenious and amazing.
We'll show. We can show y'all how to make a theme
one
song
of
for
our
y'all's
other
show.
friends told us about that Suno AI music generator.
Oh, stop! All right, so we're gonna have to. All right,
We're gonna have to do that because I'm sick of getting the fucking little things in my fucking.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you,
week.
it is fucking awesome. Like it works.
All right,
fucking good.
I've heard quite a few that like AI generated songs I've been kind of falling down a rabbit hole with, and boy are they fun.
Yeah.
Those things are fun. They I'm getting way off topic right now, but I gotta,
it's fun to play with, and if you're just trying to make music for a stream or something, it's perfect.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And I will be
That's
right
what
back.
we need to do then.
We would have wore that shit out back in the day when we were streaming.
It's a good one. That's why I was like, no, I have to use it. It's for this because it like the first time you sent it to me and I played it and like instantly was like, this is awesome.
Well, now that we're not sidetracked by music, I wanted to comment on your discussion between Bale and Michael Keaton. I'll tell you why Michael Keaton wins.
Okay.
Michael Keaton didn't have The Dark Knight Rises. Okay. It did not have the third movie. That third movie was horrible. It was the worst of the trilogy. It shouldn't have been made. And at the end, instead of committing to having him die and sacrifice himself, they had to do one scene with the stupid fucking nod. And it's like, okay, so it turns out Bruce didn't actually sacrifice anything. He just gave up on his fucking city and left.
He was a buddy Christ and everybody.
They do say that's just a dream in Alfred's mind when he's asleep at night, like because it's kind of like the same thing he did with what's the fucking one with the little top spinner? Where they
Inception.
Thank you, that one. So like you're seeing a dream that he wished he saw Bruce later. That's why Catwoman's kind of.
I don't need a director like telling me 5 years later that it was actually a dream. Like, no, if it was supposed to be a dream, it should have been in the fucking movie that it was a fucking dream.
Well, they leave it. It's fucking what's his face, Christopher Nolan. You know how he likes to do shit. But no, I agree. That whole movie.
I take it at face value. I take it at face value, and that's another thing where if you have a shit villain, you have a shit movie. I'm sorry.
With the shit plane.
No, I have the bat. I have the bat.
The bat, that version of the Batwing, the bat, that was horrible.
I hated that one.
You know how I know? Because I have one out of a package.
Look, I keep my cars in their boxes, but everything else comes out. I don't know what's wrong.
I hated that version of the Batwing so bad.
I did too. It was so bad. And the fact that they had to like program it to do its own thing, I'm like, wait, what? No.
Yeah.
I didn't like the tumbler either. Like,
we're gonna talk about
cool, but not a fan.
But the problem with that, they had a horrible Bane. That was not Bane. I don't know what that was. That was not Bane.
I agree.
Where was the venom? Where was the injection? Where is it that he gets roided out and loses his mind? He's supposed to be a luchador. He's supposed to be Spanish.
And super fucking smart too, which I never understand why they always make Bane stupid. Like the actual Bane in the comic books is stupid smart. So it's like, wait, why is he either
he creates his own venom juice, man.
Or that guy. Like it doesn't make sense.
It's like you can't have a dumb Spider-Man. He can't make his own web, you know? He makes his own venom. So he could do it. But I'm just saying that whole movie and the whole Robin tease. Oh my God. And I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I love him and everything that he's ever been in. But I just think if you knew that was going to be the end of the trilogy and you weren't going to do anything else with it, you should have just fucking ended it. And instead of leaving stuff open for interpretation, why the fuck was Catwoman even in that movie? Oh, that's right, because she's hot. That's about it. She served no purpose in the plot. It was just
I
there.
mean, she
She's
does
like,
get him to come back out of being like upstairs and being all old and
Yeah,
weird.
because she gets on a motorcycle and bends over and her ass looks great. And he's like, okay, I'll go fight crime again.
She is the worst version of Catwoman I have ever
Agreed.
seen in a movie.
Really? Even worse than what's her face that was in Monsters Ball or whatever?
Halle Berry, yeah, no,
Yeah, Halle Berry.
yeah.
But that's its own Catwoman. Like, she wasn't with Batman. That was a standoffy thing, so that doesn't really count in the Batman.
No, like Halle Berry's Catwoman,
just like the movie Joker doesn't count as a
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah,
No.
Halle
And if you
Berry's
see what they did to
Catwoman
me
movie
one after
sucked.
that,
It
it's
was
worse.
horrible, but yeah, no. What's her name is? What is their
Hathaway.
name? Yeah, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
There was just something about it. It's just like it did nothing for me at all. And coming from the Michelle Pfeiffer days back in Batman Returns, there's no competing with that in my book. Like
I would rather watch the last season of Gotham again than watch that movie again.
Real quick, just to touch base on that, loved that show up to the last season. It was actually really good. I enjoyed what they did with that show. And then the last season happened. I'm like, what did you do? You had something that was interesting. I enjoyed this, and now it's just trashed.
They were making way for Batgirl that was coming out the following season, so they had to close out the show.
See when it,
but I think the Riddler. I think that was the best Riddler ever in that
really
series. That was a great Riddler.
When it comes to movies and TV shows, Travis has got me all over because I haven't watched any of the shows hardly at all. Like I haven't watched any of the animated shows. I didn't even watch the animated show back in the 90s.
Harley Quinn is pretty funny. The show, I'm just saying.
Oh no, the show is funny, and guess what? That show would be funny with those jokes with any animation. It didn't have to be Harley Quinn because they're just raunchy and dirty, and they have jokes constantly. It's not because it's from Harley Quinn. Like you could do a South Park episode with all the exact same jokes, and it would be just as funny.
Yeah, I didn't know Harley Quinn existed until I saw the Alex Ross painting of the Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Then they're like, oh, it's this character they created for the animated series. Now they're putting her in the comics. So.
Oh, is Cindy still here? Cindy, let me tell you about why I hate Harley Quinn. Okay, Harley Quinn is the worst character ever. One, it was made for the animated series because they thought that the Joker was too rough to put in animation, so they wanted a sidekick female to soften it and like be like sort of a conscience and stuff like that. So it was she was drawn, and I hate how stupid they make her sound when she talks. I am sick of seeing it in every single thing, kind of like I'm sick of the Joker being in every single Batman thing now. And I think Harley Quinn can die in a fucking fire, and I would never see her in another comic, another action figure, another anything again. She is a waste of time. She serves no purpose, especially in the Harley Quinn show where she breaks up. She's not even with the Joker, and she doesn't have the Joker to go off of, so it's just her. So that is why Harley Quinn is a waste of time. Should never have been created unless it was just for the animated series. Once it jumped over to comics and then the games and then movies, it blew up into something it should never have done. I do think she is extremely sexy. What's her name that plays her? I think she's really hot. But Margot Robbie is really hot as Harley Quinn. But if I have to hear her say pudding one more fucking time, I'm gonna smash my fucking face through a wall.
It is funny you talk about dying in the fire. That's a conversation for later on. Dying in the fire. That's something I'll talk about later.
All right, so we were talking about vehicles. And we can get there from there.
The tumbler sucks ass. The bat sucks ass.
Yep.
I think the Batman vehicle, I really like it. It's a realistic in today's world. Like if you were Batman year 1 or 2, that would be the type of Batmobile you would have, like a souped up Charger with a super engine and all the gadgets, right?
Yeah.
I think it looks really cool. It sounds amazing, especially in theater. If you didn't see that movie in theater, you missed out because with surround sound with the Dolby bass and
Atmos.
everything,
Yeah, I bet that was
it
phenomenal.
was like the first time I heard a T-Rex in Jurassic Park do the roar in theater. It was like the same impact to me. I was like, holy shit. But
Cool.
Jimmy has a problem with that movie, especially with that vehicle. And there's a specific
What's
scene.
the problem, Jimmy?
And
I like
Jimmy
the
is going to
back
piss me off to no end. So Jimmy, go ahead. I will sit here and drink my Mountain Dew.
So we separately, of course, because Travis lives in Texas, and we went and watched the Batman, and come home and we were talking about it, and Travis is automatically like, it's a freaking 11 out of 10. He loved it because of the detective work, and it was back to Detective Batman. And I was like, what about the freeway?
Which you didn't debate. You didn't say it was bad.
Yeah. No, it's a good
that
movie,
reason.
but I was like, what about the freeway scene? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, the Batman literally killed 1,000 people on the freeway, burnt families alive and shit to catch the Penguin. Go back and watch it. He sets half the fucking freeway in the city on fire.
They're both really good.
To catch the Penguin, and then he turns around and lets him go. I'm like, Jesus, like he burned to death minivan after minivan full of
You can't make
innocent
an omelet
Gotham
without
families.
breaking some eggs.
Exactly. Exactly.
There you go. And
But
I just put one my favorite
here-
bat, if I may, real quick, my favorite bat vehicle, which they don't show often, is the Bat Segway. Now, that's how he would get from very quickly from one place to the next. If the Batmobile is in the shop or not, he had the Bat Segway. Not a lot of people know about
Hey,
that.
Michael Myers has got a
you guys are
Segway.
welcome.
Is that how he catches up so
Yep.
fast?
And Jason, Jason's got one of those little hoverboards from back in the future.
They're Deadites and they teleport, man. That's just
That's straight. That's
He's like, ding.
But I was about no, Jimmy. They didn't die.
They're sleepy. just take
the taking a nap.
these are my triangle blades.
I just noticed it so much, and like I couldn't get
He's
past
dead.
that part of
No.
the movie.
He's just taking a nap. He's just
For the
sleeping.
rest of the movie, I'm just thinking he killed all those
Show
people
him.
on the fucking freeway. Like, what the fuck? Are we just going to ignore that? Like,
Commissioner
Hey, did you
Gordon's
know
like,
what?
I didn't see
Like-
nothing.
Like now that you like word that whole scene that way, it changes it because like in my head, I'm like, that's a really good scene. I'm like, boy, you're right. He does murder a bunch of fucking random families.
And you know why he murdered all those people? And I will tell you exactly why. No, so they could have the one scene. They could have the one scene where the semi that was carrying the fuel or whatever turned over and would explode. And for somehow there's a fucking ramp on the other side of it
Maybe
that
he
he
got the
launches
jumper.
through.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like they did all the explosions and all the death.
that wasn't a ramp.
For
That
that
was a bus
one-
full of special needs kids. He just
They're like, oh, the schnozberry tastes like schnozberries. No, Batman. No.
it's on fire. Like I want to go
They're
back and
running
re-edit
around
that
in their
movie where
Batman
you,
suits.
you just see like
by
100
the
people
way,
running around
this is
the
an
freeway.
adult
You're
show,
like,
and if you don't enjoy adult humor, and if you like try to say like, did you just make fun of like slow people? No, I call them
did.
dogs.
And then you're
But
on
yes,
the wrong
I
spot
do.
and you're offended.
And if you're offended, come to a
Yeah.
different episode when I'm not on it, or they kick me off. So shut the fuck
so
up.
it but
I'm not
that scene hit me so hard that it really kind of took me out of the rest of the movie. I'm just like, Jesus, like that's all I kept thinking about was all the poor kids that were burning alive.
But
Maybe they had to
you haven't
come.
watched. Oh, Arnold from Mr. Freeze.
Maybe they had to come.
Everybody freeze.
Chill out.
Kill.
Yeah, get
Wow.
down.
It's not a tumor. Wrong movie.
Boys
Kids
have
on my
vaginas
cold
and
hot
girls have vaginas.
Oh, Cindy, you missed the Harley Quinn
It's a
rant
ferret.
already. I'm sorry.
Who is your daddy and what
And
does he
what-
do?
Our mommy
Uh,
says our daddy's a real sex machine.
Here's one for
But
you, Groovy. The Harley Quinn car.
I don't think what year did that come out? Is
The
that
Harley
a newer
Quinn
year?
one? I don't know. Actually, hold on. let me look.
Here's a Harley Quinn car for you.
Oh shit! That's when it's the bombshell
Yeah,
one.
Devin has that one upstairs. Like all the Harley Quinn stuff goes to my daughter upstairs in her room.
That's awesome.
But what was I? Oh, the Penguin. When he said he released the Penguin, I just want y'all to know if y'all have Max, the Penguin series is amazing. By the way, and it's over. It's only and it's ties directly into the Batman 2. So
2021, by the way, real quick.
Okay, so I don't have
a
that.
hockey mask. Yeah, the
I heard it was a good show. I haven't watched
movie.
it yet, but I heard it's decent.
No, I have. Again, it's one of those that it's just like a crime drama. Like it could be any mafia and stuff, but it ties to stuff that I know, so I really enjoy it.
The Batman the movie.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Was not my favorite. I thought the ending was messy, and the way they did the Riddler was pretty lame. Let's be honest, it was pretty.
The
lame.
ending was
lame.
messy, and it explains a lot in the series as well because it goes right into the series.
Yeah, you can tell they were setting other stuff up. It's like Batman Begins. The first time I watched Batman Begins, I hated it. I was like, man,
I felt that too. Like I had to watch it like 2 or 3 more times, and I was like, all right, it's not so bad. But like the first time I sat through that, I felt the same way. Like this really isn't that good.
Yeah, I think it was more whimsical. You know what I mean? It had a little bit more of like the Tim Burton like whimsy to it, rather than like the dark grittiness like the '89 one had.
Yeah,
you know, like it was just a little more fun.
Which are we talking about? Returns.
Returns. Yeah, Returns.
Okay. So Batman Returns. Batman's one rule doesn't seem to exist in the first scene when he shows up with the Batmobile and all the circus freaks that are around the Christmas tree when the Penguin attacks the first time. He kills and sets people on fucking fire. He sticks a grenade down somebody's pants. He just straight up clothesline people that are riding on a motorcycle going 40 miles an hour with things that come out the side. And then people just run flat into walls when he does the thing where the Batmobile goes to the skinny. It's crazy. I'm like, he kills a lot of people in that movie, and he did more damage in that first scene than he did in the entire first movie.
Yeah.
But they, because you know why it became more whimsical, right? In number 2?
No.
So McDonald's could sell Batman toys.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't like the original cut.
They got mad at the first Batman. They couldn't sell toys because they said it was too violent and stuff. So they added more whimsy and stuff.
It was PG-13.
I've seen things much worse than that. The same thing.
Same rating as the second one was.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. And if McDonald's of all people,
Batman is either Keaton or Bale, both far behind Pete Holmes. I think Harry. I think that's Harley.
Yeah, Harley. Unless there's a Harry Quinn we don't know about.
Harley Quinn would be an interesting character if it was a split personality of the Joker. But as an own character, she brings nothing to the table. Give me a specialty that she has. Give me something that not.
What about Calendar Man?
Calendar Man.
He's pretty
killed
badass.
A lot of people. He killed a lot of people.
Yeah, he kills time a lot.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
I like Calendar Man.
Are we gonna? You just want to jump into villains? Well,
we've been kind of peppering them in here and there.
Let's finish movies first. So,
and then we jump into villains.
Yeah. So we did Batman Returns, which again is Keaton, Selena Kyle, Catwoman. That is Jimmy's like
that was I think
when she licked his face, like I was 19 years old. I was just like,
Bro, I was like,
and she did all of her own stunts.
Did she really?
Yeah, they have film of her like the whip with like when she's in the store and she's like doing the heads off them. She did that all in one take, like in real life.
Really?
And after they cut, like everybody was like clapping. She did all of her own stunts.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
was
I didn't know that.
Impressive.
And
I was Michelle Pfeiffer sent before that movie come out, and that just put it over the top.
Oh yeah.
She had 3 people that constantly followed her around that suit because it took 3 people for her to have to go to the bathroom. It took 3 people to get her out of that suit for her to go to the bathroom.
Really sealed in the flavor.
Really sealed in the flavor. Bring it back. Bring it back.
I didn't even shower that day.
Keeps in the flavor.
Could you imagine having that job though? Like you're the one that gets to let Michelle Pfeiffer out of the the Catwoman suit.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. When we just talked about villains, because I have some questions when it comes to villains. And then you have one of my personal favorites besides '89 Batman is actually Batman Forever. But that was when it was a time in my life as a kid where I got it for Christmas on VHS, which I do have the VHS and stuff up there.
Oh,
The
nice.
original Batman Returns, Batman and Robin, and Batman Forever. But that was when Jim Carrey was at his peak, and I loved Ace Ventura and all that stuff. So I really enjoyed it. Two-Face, whatever.
There's no Tommy
But,
Lee Jones.
We're gonna talk about Two-Face because me and Jimmy kind of brainstorm before we can talking about different things that we could bring up. So
Fair
I
enough.
kind of know where some of the stuff's going. But I just loved it. And Val Kilmer, I didn't mind Val Kilmer as much as a lot of people did. I think Val Kilmer was great as Bruce Wayne. I think he wasn't as good as a Batman as Michael Keaton was perfect at Batman because he could just do that half smile and he would set the scene. The first scene when Batman and Axis Chemicals knocks the guy out, and then Jack Nicholson's talking to him, and he just has that little smile before he tries to shoot and blocks it.
Yeah.
He just has that coolness as Batman, not really as Bruce Wayne. I think Val Kilmer did a really good job as Bruce Wayne specifically,
not so
with
much
Chase Meridian.
It's like Batman.
Nicole
and
Kidman.
Bruce Wayne.
Batman.
Yeah, who was your favorite Bruce Wayne? Yeah.
My favorite.
I'm gonna take a hot take right here and say Ben. Ben is my favorite Bruce Wayne. Hefty's gone. I just think he does a really good job as Bruce Wayne, because I grew up with the animated series, and just the way that they frame a lot of those shots, he looks almost like the cartoon from back in the day. So to me, he's the best Bruce Wayne.
The best Bruce Wayne. I wish I could just say
Keaton again.
No, best Bruce Wayne. And it completely depends on the movie and the trilogy. I think Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight, the second one, I think him playing the role as the Playboy, showing up in the Lamborghini, all that stuff, and then showing the separation with him. And it should have been Katie Holmes, not that ugly chick, the Gyllenhaal chick, whatever.
Maggie Gyllenhaal. Oh, come on,
Yeah.
man. He was awful.
No, I'm saying who?
I don't know. I was being argumentative. I'm sorry, Drew.
Batman. Go Batman.
No, I was saying I think his way of showing the split between Bruce Wayne and Batman completely separate. I think Christian Bale did an awesome job. I actually think Michael Keaton is the my least favorite as Bruce Wayne. But again, I want my Bruce Wayne to be a cocky son of a bitch. That's what I see Bruce Wayne as.
Do you think he was more
undertone.
timid and a little more reserved and more
my hot take's going to be even worse than saying Ben Affleck. And
lucky we're all not in the
are
same
you ready?
room.
Are you ready for this? I think with the proper scripting and everything, Clooney could have been a great Bruce Wayne. He had a couple of scenes where he was doing some good Bruce Wayne acting. As Batman, he completely sucks. But he had some good Bruce Wayne moments. Had that movie been written better and not just a piece of shit, I think he could have excelled.
Well, we're getting to that one
Bruce
too.
Wayne.
We're definitely getting to that piece of shit.
Can you highlight Cindy's last message?
Yep.
All right. Yep. So Rob Patterson, Twilight. All right. As a year 1, year 2 Bruce Wayne and Batman, as much as people gave him shit, I actually thoroughly appreciate what he did for the role.
I agree with
think
that.
He did a really good job, and a lot of people shit on it. And even before the movie came out and I saw it, I was like, give him a chance. And even Jimmy was like, hey, you got to give this guy a chance. Because remember, we hated Keaton when they announced it. And then it came out. He played a really good year 1, year 2 Batman. Very underdeveloped.
He felt more Nightwing to me than Batman. He felt more Dick Grayson than Bruce Wayne to me.
I get that.
But that's maybe just my age, and because he's younger, and it's supposed to be year one Batman. So, maybe that's on purpose. So,
you know what I think is weird about that? Like the fact that, like you were just saying, like when they first cast Keaton to be Batman, you were all like not about it.
yeah.
I was the same way when they cast Heath Ledger. I still remember the first thing I said. I was like, the dude from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
Like,
by the way, one of my favorite
Joker.
movies ever. Again,
Mine
another
too.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie.
I'm not saying it's
back
a
in
bad
the
movie,
game.
but like in my head, I'm like, that dude's not a Joker. He's funny, he's goofy, and then like as we have discussed a few times, he's my favorite Joker, and I'm just like, the dude knocked that out of the park for just being so, I want to say, different from what you've seen before or what you even think of the Joker. He was just so much more grounded, and just his reason to do what he was doing was just so left, right, up, down. He didn't give a fuck. He was just doing it to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why I love Heath Ledger.
But if you watch it again and you think that everything is left, right, and he's just doing all over the place, the fact of the matter is he is very meticulous with every single thing he does,
which is cool about it at the same time.
Like when you think he's talking about random chaos, everything he did in that movie.
He's got his thumb cocked in the thing, so if he does try to shoot it, it won't kill him. Like, those are the small things about him that I love. And the fact of in the scene where they blow up the hospital and he came out and hit the button and it didn't blow up because the prop didn't work right, and he starts hitting the thing and then it blows up. His general reaction of jumping is because he didn't expect it to blow up. Like, those small things that you can't script, you can't make, makes him the best Joker.
But what I was saying, the difference why I say I like Nicholson over Heath is because Nicholson did have that, like, I want to do gags and stuff like that, and like he was left, right, and center. He had no direction whatsoever.
All over the place.
But Heath Ledger, he had a code of ethics through the entire movie. He was like, it's not about the money, it's not about any of that stuff. He didn't want to do it. He just wanted to. He wanted to be the center. He wanted to push. He wanted to be the person to take down Batman. He wanted to be in control. He had ethics. And that's where I say, when everybody's like, he's an agent of chaos, I'm like, no, everything went off of his ethics, and he had a plan, meticulous. There was no random chaos in anything that he did.
Fair enough.
How'd that work out for Heath Ledger again? What happened to him?
Well, he made one more movie, The Magical Life of Mr. Parnassus, and realized how bad it was, and he killed himself.
And then did it. Okay. I was
God, right? I know that's where we were going. In my head, I'm like, oh my God, we're about to make a he killed himself joke. Yep, it came out.
But
which that movie, if you have not watched it, is legit trash. Do not spend your money down. Do not ever watch it.
Come on, you got Johnny Depp, and who else come in and filled in for
Colin Farrell, if I'm not mistaken.
Played the Penguin.
The new
I gotta
Penguin,
bounce.
Yeah.
I gotta bounce.
All right,
Have thanks, man.
Guys, love you guys.
Later, brother. Love you, Heft.
See you guys
later.
later.
Happy.
Now, welcome to the second hour of Batman.
Poor Hefty can't hang with the nerds. He's got to run.
That's okay.
He's just like too much nerd talk.
And I think we should just go. Let's just go into the Rogues Gallery, because I think that is the most interesting thing about Batman. And I will say this for any comic, Marvel, anything, Batman has the best, most well-written,
well-rounded at that too.
Well-rounded enemy list, Rogue Gallery. And so let's go with one. Let's go with top three, your top three favorites in the Rogues Gallery. Like, if you had perfect control to make a movie that would be good, okay?
Okay.
And you had to pick 3 enemies of Batman to be in that movie.
Ooh.
And it's like, this is your masturbatory fantasy of nerddom, okay? Who is your 3? And then,
I feel like you both have had this talk and you know what you want to say, so I'll let you guys go first, because now I have to think about it, because I'm like, wait, I got to pick 3?
All right, go ahead, Jimmy.
Fair enough, man.
All right. So mine would be things you haven't seen before. I would my favorite Batman villain is Killer Croc. because
Good
I like because it takes Batman to the Conan Ninja Batman. Like it's there's no real detective work when you're fighting Killer Croc, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're just fighting Killer Croc. Then I would bring in Solomon Grundy. Like we have not seen a good Solomon Grundy. You know,
That's
like,
a really good choice, actually.
I
But
would look.
who would you get to play it, and how would you do it? Would you do it all practical, or would you do CGI to make him big, or would you get a big guy to play, or what would you do?
I think you could get like Tyler Mane, you know, the guy that plays Sabretooth, somebody like that. It wouldn't have to be over the top because it's going to be more of the writing and the acting than anything. Tyler Mane's not a good actor, but he's not a bad actor. I mean, you could take kind of that Michael Myers setup he had and tweak that up a little bit and pull a Solomon Grundy. And then let's see, for my third villain, we didn't really talk about 3, but I would probably do like
I know that's
I
I
would
was
do a
putting everybody on
Brainiac
equal
connection.
feeding.
I would do like a Brainiac, and Killer Croc and Solomon Grundy would be like the henchmen for Brainiac.
So you would have like a smart Killer Croc and a super smart.
Brainiac somehow, some way, like they would be his minions, his henchmen, and Brainiac would be the main villain.
It'd be a nice like crossover because you don't really see him going after Batman that much, but I'd be okay with that actually. That sounds pretty interesting.
I love it when the Superman villains, Lex Luthor and Brainiac and all them, when they cross over into Batman's world. I do love seeing that.
And remember when I said we kind of thought of a story and we got something cooking? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. All right. So you got anything, JJ?
I was going to say, like, after hearing you guys, I've been thinking about it. I would probably say Scarecrow because, like, not that he has powers, but what he does is fascinating. Making Batman question everything around him. Like, that in my mind sounds amazing. Along with Calendar Man, because he's a very underrated villain. And I love him. Like, he's kind of quirky, and the Mad Hatter. Like, if I had to build a movie around those three and make Batman, like, question everything around him and whatnot, that's where I would go because you don't get a good Mad Hatter. And if I'm going to cast a really good Mad Hatter, I would probably go with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think he would crush it as a Mad Hatter, just being quirky and, like, saying everything in nursery rhymes. I think he'd make a great Mad Hatter.
Nice.
Because he can dance.
I'm bringing Pete Holmes in to be my Brainiac. So
who?
Pete Holmes is going to be my Brainiac.
Batman, I control your brain.
He's like, no, I bring him in. I bring him in the new X-Men as Professor Xavier.
Yeah. Oh, they missed it. If he would have popped up in Deadpool and Wolverine, oh my God.
That's what it's funny you talk about that. We were actually looking in Deadpool and Wolverine. We were hoping that they were going to bring Pete Holmes in as Professor X from X-Men.
Wolverine, cool guy.
That would have been funny, actually.
It would have been great. All right. So my number one that I want to see live action is Azrael. Azrael is
that's a good choice.
And there's multiple versions of Azrael, as people know. And I want when we talk about bad guys, I want an actual bad guy. So I want the Valley version. I want the sociopath, psychopathic serial killer, not the detective. I don't remember his last name. Detective that like got brainwashed and then like he started killing people to get to the bad guy, and Batman stopped him. He took over for him when Batman broke his back. So Azrael, I would like to see live action. So you kind of took mine. Rob, have a good one, man. Thank you for coming in. My second one is Scarecrow. But Scarecrow, if you ever played like the Injustice games, like that's the Scarecrow I want. Like he is very dark with like the meat hooks and stuff.
Yep.
And the last one, I want to see. I want a good Red Hood as Todd. I want Todd's Red Hood, and I want them to do like his mind wipe, and I want them to do it really well. And I would like him to be the main character, the main villain, and the other two are just, they're kind of like helping him, like he's directing them because he wants to go and kill Batman. That's the live action movie I want to see.
Who would you get to play the Red Hood, though?
Well, the Red Hood, I would do just like they did with Dredd. He would never take off his fucking hood. You would never know who he actually is.
But who would you get to be him, though? Like, which actor in your brain would portray the best Red Hood, in your opinion?
If we're talking about Todd's version of Red Hood, not like the Joker version of Red Hood before, but like the actual Red Hood, like I do want someone that, like the guy that plays Reacher, like I want someone super jacked and like can pull off like the leather coat and still,
he wants to play Batman.
I think he would make a horrible Batman. He did okay as Aquaman in Smallville.
Yep.
Oh, I love Smallville. I loved that show. And I had the hugest crush on Allison Mack on that. And then look what happened to her. And I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have had a crush on her. But
she crazy.
I thought, and Tom Welling, and I'm not even lying, after I know this is Superman, but after Cavill, I think Tom Welling was the best Clark Kent Superman. I don't care. And I loved Michael Rosenbaum that played Lex Luthor in that show too. I thought he did an awesome Lex Luthor.
I'm still a Christopher Reeves fanboy on that stuff. Like, the first.
I grew up with Reeves too, so to me, like he is the definitive Superman in my brain. No matter who comes after, you got to live up to Reeves. Hey, what's up, Billy?
And then my did I say all three of mine?
Yeah. You get an honorable mention. My honorable mention would be Deathstroke.
Ooh,
motherfucker.
A good Deathstroke, though. You got to get like the perfect Deathstroke.
I was just about to say that because I want to see that actual, because I want the combat to be like, if Deathstroke's there, I want it to be with the League of Assassins. So like Batman actually has to get into a katana sword fight with Deathstroke, and I want to see it live action. And I do want to see that with a Pattinson Batman.
Yeah, I'd like to see Batman and Deathstroke fight, and where Batman's like kind of that has an oh shit moment, like I might not be able to fucking beat this guy,
Kind of like you do in Arkham Origins when he beats the piss out of you, not fast enough to hit those buttons. He beats the living shit out you. I can't tell you how many times I lost to him and threw my controller because I was like, "Fuck this game."
Yeah, but that would be my go-to. And so when it comes to stories, different stories, Batman stories, like as I said, Jimmy started collecting comics. I don't have many Batman comics. I go and I talk to comic book stores. I'm like, okay, what's your recommended Batman reads? And I just get the TPB. I never really collected Batman. I collected Spider-Man really when I was growing up.
Fair enough.
Lobo, I did a lot of Lobo too, just because he cussed in the comics, and my parents didn't know, so I was like,
"He's a badass with a long flow and black hair,
smoked
a cigar and rode that bike through space and shit."
Smoking cigars, saying frack and bastich to me as a kid, that was cussing. Okay,
right? It's cool.
It's like my
I'm
first
not judging,
time,
dude. Like, I love Lobo.
First time I ever saw a movie with
character.
cussing was the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when Raphael said "damn" when he lost his sight at the very beginning. I was like, did a turtle just use a swear word?
I actually have all those up there. That's my shelf for my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They go all the way along the top shelf.
But so I didn't like when I'm reading like a series of comics, like when you're talking about a storyline, I'm talking like a storyline. Yeah. Which one is your favorite like Batman storyline? It could be like what led to like it could even be, we can include games and stuff as well if you want to include games.
Okay.
So it's not a pure Batman storyline, but I mean, I've talked about Kingdom Come to no end. That's my favorite comic anything of all time. Like I love that graphic novel. I love the artwork and I love the story, and it's very Batman centric, but it's more Superman, but Batman is a big part of that. But as far as a pure Batman story of any sort, Arkham Asylum, the graphic novel that came out in like I think '87 or something like that. It was when I was in high school, but just Batman trying to survive in Arkham Asylum as he's slowly going insane. The turn with Two-Face at the end of it, the artwork, everything about it, the mood, the atmosphere, like Arkham
Which
Asylum.
the games actually followed pretty good. The first two, like when Batman was he going crazy in the second one, or is that the third one?
That's the third one.
I've never played the game,
hooker blood. Well, I mean, it starts in the second, but you really get the full effects when you play the Dark Knight or whatever that is.
I love those games, and I think after Halloween and I finish with the squirrel, like I might play those again. I might stream those from beginning to end. The storyline.
I just started playing Arkham Asylum about 2 weeks ago, and like I forget how great those games are, like how in depth they are, and the storyline telling behind them. Like
so
the so much fun.
The first and the third game follows the Arkham Asylum, pretty much the comic, like with him going crazy and stuff in the third one, and like going all the gas and stuff like that. It follows. Yeah. Okay. So Arkham Asylum for you.
So for mine, I'd have to say the Killing Joke is my favorite storyline, just because you get like that turn. It's about Batman, but it's more about the Joker. But as you read it, you don't like, you're not sure if it's him actually remembering the story right or coming up with a new one on the fly, like he seems to always do. And at the end of it, when like he tells the joke and they start laughing, and then you don't know what happens.
Yeah.
One of my favorite fucking storylines.
We legit had this exact conversation. Was it yesterday we had this conversation? And I was like, I was like, well, I mean, is that really a Batman? Batman's in like the very beginning and he's at the very end. He's not really in the comic, really.
No, but it's a good like storyline into
story.
Batman because it includes everyone he cares about: Jim, Barbara, what happens, and so forth and so on. Love the graphic novel, but fuck the movie.
Yeah,
fuck the movie. It's a good movie up until the scene where he bangs Batgirl on the rooftop. Then I'm like, that's not no, I'm out.
Oh, you're talking the animated movie?
Yeah, like up to that point, like when they made that whole movie, I was like,
Batman also fucked Harley Quinn
and then when
too
it
in
came out,
animation.
I was so mad.
Like Batman actually fucked Harley Quinn too in the animation as well.
I've not watched hardly any of those DC animated movies. I've heard they're good, but
WB, like I would like when Snyder was coming out with Justice League and Wonder Woman and stuff. I say fuck all those DC movies. If you watch the animation is 50 times better than any DC live action. And they do Batman so much better.
Flashpoint, all of them such fucking good movies. Though being I brought up Flashpoint, what is your guys' thoughts on Flashpoint? Like the whole thought that Bruce dies instead and mom and dad become Batman and Joker. Like, to me, it's a really good twist on the whole like Batman story, which I enjoy. Oh,
as Bruce Wayne's dad is Batman.
Bruce Wayne's dad.
The Flashpoint stuff, like all the multiverse stuff, I've never kind of been into because, I mean, Marvel was doing that shit with the What If comic books, and those were cool because they were what if, and it was like
what if this happened?
What if this happened? Or whatever. But like now, it's like the multiverse is just their plot armor. That's how they get out of lazy writing. Is they just do some multiverse shit.
I agree with that.
Like Travis and I were talking about too. You know, when a character dies, they should die. Like put some stakes in the ground. That gives it that emotional punch. But with all the multiverse and you know all the different little plot holes they got to sell comics, I understand the business part of it, but there's really no stakes. And Flashpoint's kind of the same thing. Like it's it's
Fair enough.
another version of a multiverse thing, and it was cool to see, but it really could have just been done as a what if thing.
Well, I mean, you look
I
at
get
like
that.
if you look at the Killing Joke, when Joker shoots Barbara right in the back, breaks her spine. That's a big, impactful moment that actually goes for a long time through the continuation of the series, where she comes Watchtower and all that stuff, and like
Birds of Prey and all that.
And this is where it comes, where I hate when there's no stakes. Like, she fulfilled a role still, but then they're like, oh, well, we created a microchip that can help her walk and all that stuff again. I'm like, no, like, let her just
stay in the
create a new
chair.
character. Like it, and that's why the Killing Joke used to be one of my favorite, but the stakes, all of it was gone. That was the big thing that stood out to me in the Killing Joke, was when he shot her, and I'm like, well, it held no stakes anymore. So for me, my favorite story, like, I know I hate multiverse stuff as well, but the Batman Who Laughs, man, is my favorite Batman story arc. And he just goes crazy and he just starts killing people, man.
Yeah.
Well, and he's just going to destroy entire planets and the galaxy. He just didn't give a shit. I've got that one up there too.
This, like, I don't know what it is about this one, but that suit and like the way he acts in that whole series is, to me, like, they did a really good job with that. Like, what if Bruce was still Bruce but full of being crazy is amazing. It's a really good storyline, so I agree with that.
I would love to see them try to do that in a live action. And when I say that in a live action, but I think about it in live action like I think about the 90s Spawn movie. Like, I want it cheesy and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
really?
I love it. Oh, I love the Spawn movie. I don't care.
I know I do too. Like, I'm not saying that, but like, you really want them to do that with that story? That's a really dark and kind of good story.
Well, I'm saying like how they did like Hell and stuff, like with the, and I want like I want the techno like beats. Like, I want it to, what I meant by like Spawn, I wanted it to feel like that. I know as a kid, I was like, oh, that was awesome. And I wanted to kind of be retro, like, do the Mortal Kombat theme song from the movie halfway through. Just give me more nostalgia. That's what I want,
It's like, I don't mind the cheese and camp as long as it's respectful cheese and camp,
exactly.
If they're just shitting on you for being a Batman fan, fuck them. Like, I'm not,
No, I get that.
But if we want to be real, I also want to see them go to Batman Beyond. And I want the old Batman, and you know who I would have play old Bruce Wayne?
Ben Affleck.
I'm assuming, because that's what I would want. That's what I would want.
I said Ben Affleck.
Bruce fucking Campbell, man.
Yeah.
What? Wait, now that my brain's thinking of that, like him with the gray hair and the cane and the all right, I'm kind of on board with that now.
He's got the chin,
like,
and all he has to do, he's just the old guy with the cane that's directing McGinnis out there in the Beyond suit.
Could you imagine just like a WB series of that? Not a big blockbuster movie, but just like a kind of a cheaply made TV series of that. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Well, I mean, they did that with Titan. I thought Titans was a great show. I loved Titans.
I haven't watched that yet, but that's all I've ever heard, that it's actually really good.
Well, take it from a fan. It was good. It was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I like Teen Titans Go more than I like the Teen Titans cartoon. So,
I'm the opposite. I hate Go, but I love the OG one with the.
Well, I saw Go before I watched the OG. So the jokes were just funnier.
But I do love they keep the same.
Tara Strong doing the voice and stuff. It's still good. Yeah. All right. There is something, as me and Jimmy have been this week prepping for this show, and we were sitting there, we were talking, and some of the questions, as we said, like, I've written stuff down, notes, and we're going through, and I was just like, and we were just discussing about if they would hold stakes, or they would like just be real and gritty, and just go all out. Waffles. See, that was a good Beast
hate
Boy
that I
impression
know
right there.
that.
Was that a good Beast Boy impression? Sound
Yeah,
like
it's pretty good, man.
waffles. Anyway,
There
No,
you
that's
go.
a good one.
um, so we wanted them to, because they're never going to be bloody and gore. They're never going to like have Batman do stuff out of character, because they're it's an IP. They're scared of doing it, and we're like, well, if me and Jimmy were to write a story of a comic or a movie that we could actually do, we kind of came up with something.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the title of it is called Breaking Bat. Breaking Bat, kind of like Breaking Bad. And Jimmy, do you have that painting you're doing? This might be either the cover or it may be the last panel.
It's long from finish, but
yeah.
Oh wait, what? That's cool
Yeah,
though.
so bring it up closer, Jimmy.
it looks like shit right now. I gotta go.
No,
over
it looks really cool as is. Like seriously, that's really dope.
What you're looking at is Batman. He's in a straitjacket and he's in a padded room, and his cowl is not a Batman cowl. It's like made out of fabric and like stuff from like arts and crafts, like cardboard and stuff.
Oh shit! Like paper mache almost.
Paper mache. Like he just made his own because he's in an insane asylum. So that's either going to be the cover or the last panel. I'm not really sure. But we
like
came
the
up
idea
with
though.
So what is Batman's one rule? What is Batman's one rule?
You don't kill.
You don't kill. So this the bad guys in this is going to be Waller from Suicide Squad and Lex Luthor. Okay.
Interesting.
So we're talking about pulling over Superman villains to the Batman universe. So what happens is Waller goes into Arkham Asylum and every single person gets the little explosive whatever, but it also has a chip in it, which is like AI. That actually, if you've seen those things that people are trying to do studies where they put criminals in a pod or something, and their brain, it's like their brain was in prison for like 35 years, but it was actually only like 10 minutes in real life. You know what I'm saying? JJ?
Yep. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, you know how they'd put them in like cryo sleep, whatever, but like in their brain, it'd be like 35 years had passed.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just in their brain, they're in prison or in asylum.
Yep.
Well, that's in all of these. And Lex Luthor has a way of controlling. So he's hacking into them and he's controlling all the inmates. And he has it out because he has it out for Batman. Don't really know the reason why. Maybe he's like, because he's bored with Superman. But, and all of the inmates are going crazy. And it's kind of like the Arkham Asylum game. They all kind of bust out of their areas and they're all around and they're taking prisoners and like family members and stuff that were visiting. But Batman goes through and through this comic, whatever, he is having to, like, let's say he confronts the Joker and the Joker is being controlled by Lex Luthor. He is not in control at all. Like he's still conscious and he's like, I can't stop. I can't do anything about it. And he's sitting there and he has a family there and he kills like the mom and the dad right in front of Batman. And he's about to shoot like the 5-year-old son. And Batman has to do like how Superman did to Zod at the end of Man of Steel. And like he has to kill him. Yep. And it's like that. And like Batman starts having to go through and like he's trying to subdue all these people. But Lex Luthor is putting him in situations where he has to actually kill them. And he's starting to lose his sanity as he goes through. And at the end, it's just his whole morality, his ethics, and everything are just out the window. And with the psychosis, like goes into high overdrive, split personality disorder. He's in a straitjacket. He's sitting there. I'm Batman. Nobody like it. Just he goes crazy, and it's just called Breaking Bat. And nobody would ever do it because it would be everything that goes against Batman.
Yeah, like the Joker scene, we would set it up where you think it's going to be like some kind of traditional Joker scene where it's going to be some intricate joke or something, but no, he just pulls out a shotgun and starts murdering this family in front of Batman. And then we would have where you could see in the Joker's face that it's even too much for him. Like he wants to stop, but he can't. Like you would see the smile, but you would also see in his eyes, like, I can't fucking stop. And, you know, we would be pushing even the villains past their breaking point.
You know, to me as a fan, like, of everything, like this, like, that's a really good idea because it reminds me of a fan theory I saw online where Batman's actually in Arkham and all his villains are like his caretakers, his nurses, his doctors, that he's in his head trying to fight these people to get out because he's crazy, because after his mom and dad died, he never recovers. So he's instantly like gone, like off the, like gone way off. And so he's locked up in Arkham and all these people are his caretakers. And so that kind of like fits in with that almost, where that's a really good idea.
Yeah, it would.
Like his cell works that fan theory in there, like
his cell would say Bruce Wayne, but he would be like screaming, "I'm Batman," and he would just have shit put on his face to look like a Batman mask. But you know,
only if you do it like,
and then they'd be like, "Who's Batman?" Like
Riddler.
what? Yeah, like he's not even real in real life. Like it never existed outside of his head.
Yeah, like if you do like little flashback scenes at the end, and it's like it's Bruce Wayne with like Joker lipstick on, like killing people and
just sitting around rocking, going,
"Oh man, this could be so crazy. This could be an entire series, man, not just a one-off."
Yeah.
I kind of want to know more about this. Like when you guys get it written, please send it my way because I want to read that because it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, we could write it up as like a little short novel first, and then because it's a lot of work doing the artwork for it, and I'm not a pencil and ink guy, so
I'm not either. Like that was never my skill in any way. But no, like has like even like if it was just like in like a book form and somebody just read it to you, it sounds like an interesting story across the board.
Thing is, like you gotta workshop that shit a lot and bounce stuff off of folks that you trust, because you're gonna paint yourself in some corners, and continuity is fucking hard. So you gotta make sure all the shit lines
that's
up.
why this would have to be like Earth 7 billion. Like it's not connected to anything.
Like it's an off-planet distant world.
Yeah. It's the mirror universe. Like
it's
nothing.
really good. It's very good. Like,
what is the one above all's guy's name in DC? It's something else. What is it?
What's that?
You know how like Marvel has the one above all, who's basically God. Who's the God guy in DC? I forgot.
Shit.
But you could tie all this back to where in like Bruce Wayne has created the entire DC universe in his head, in his cell. Like he's that, you know.
Like
so this is what me and Jimmy do every day at work. As we're working, we're just coming up with stuff. We're just talking.
Like just alone, as you guys like had this whole talk about it, like in my head, I'm seeing all these scenes in my head where like he's in his cell, like painting a kid. He goes, "This is Robin. Here's the Boy Wonder. This is Nightwing." He's yelling at the nurses, like, "It's okay, Mr. Wayne. Calm down." He goes, "No, that's my family."
Who said I'm Mr. Wayne? What? I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I've got the mask
like,
on.
That's what I see in my head is him just being so over the top because he's completely gone. Yeah. Like everything that he draws in his cell is what he thinks is real in his mind. And you could do the whole cell with all the rogues, all the heroes, the villains, everything, and be like, to him, he's building this whole world that's not real.
Yeah. And
what's up, Anthony?
What we want to do is actually show, like, when we first started, like, oh, it couldn't be a DC, like it would have to be like an Image comic or a Dark Horse comic or something that made like The Walking Dead or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it would be gruesome, it'd be gory, and we wouldn't hold anything back. Like,
I see stories in scenes. So, you know, like the whole continuity and the whole putting it all together is that, you know, I'm not as good at that as I am just having scenes in my head, you know.
Oh no, man, the host left the show to us alone and he trusts us that much. Woo, that could be dangerous. Dark Side is awesome. The reason I have a problem with Dark Side is because he's too uber powerful. To the point where it takes the entire Justice League. So it couldn't be something that Batman would be able to stop on his own, because I don't even know if Batman had a plan in itself to beat Darkseid just on his own without the Justice League, because I don't think he possibly could. That's like Batman fighting Thanos. Like, I don't think it would be possible. There's a reason why Tony Stark would die.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you saw that scene, like Tony Stark is the Marvel Batman. He threw everything he had at Thanos to get one drop of blood. So, but he did. I guess he did snap him at the end. So,
I think Darkseid's a great enemy, but I think that would be an overarching enemy that would have to be like the Uber enemy. It couldn't be like a standalone story. Like, it would have to be like another Kingdom Come or like a whole Justice League to take down Darkseid.
Yeah, it would be very hard for us to get any of our movies even an R rating. I think everything would be NC-17 or unrated.
That might actually be kind of good.
Yeah.
Because like it would be that new take on Batman. You don't get like that like darker side of everything that surrounds him. Because like if you really think about it in the grand spectrum, like all his bad guys aren't like the most clean about what they do, we'll say. Like they get really gross sometimes. So I think having a movie that's a little over the top might do Batman well.
And they have done Marvel crossovers with the Dark Claw, the Batman Wolverine mix.
Yeah,
that is an interesting take. Actually, I didn't think about that till just
now. I do have that. It's out in my collection out in the shed, but I do have that comic. I have that whole series of the crossovers.
It's such a good comic too, with him on the cover with the big old ears and the black and the yellow and the claws.
And it's funny because his face is two Batmans kissing each other, so it's, it works.
Because everybody loves Batman. Even Batman loves Batman.
I think some of the coolest things about Batman is that he is just a normal person. Like, he requires gadgets and he has to be super fucking smart. He has to be smart. He's a detective. He has to find out how to beat all these people because he fights people like Killer Croc in just a hand-to-hand fight. He loses every time.
Yeah.
But he has to come up with ways. He has to be smart enough. He has to come up with different gases and different stuff just to slow him down enough to just stand toe to toe with them. So that's why I love Batman, because he has so many gadgets and so many stuff that
the elephant in the room with the Batman versus Superman character comparisons. That's why I like Superman, because like I have to imagine if I was Superman, I would be a whole lot like Homelander probably. And for the character of Superman to be able to control that over all these years, like that amount of character to do that. I know it seems boring because he's Superman. He's got as much power as he needs to win the fight, but
that's the plot armor. He's like, oh, I don't have enough power. Yeah. It's over 9,000. I gotta go fly into the sun real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, now I've got plasma farts, whatever, but that's why I like the character of Batman is there as a check for Superman, but to be Superman and to have that kind of power and not use it the way out of instinct, out of anger or anything like that's always what's made Superman interesting to me in the way that Batman is interesting to Travis,
No, I get that. I used to have a friend, him and I would have the same talks because he was really big on soups. Like, that was his dude. Like, we would, like, I'd walk into work, I'd clock in, and I'd see him. I'm like, every time they fight, Batman wins. I'd be like, fuck you, bro. No, he doesn't. I'm like, yes, he does, because he's planned for it. He's got the gadgets. He knows what he's got to do, and he knows how to take this man down, because at the end of the day, they're best friends. So if you don't know how to take out your own best friend, that's your problem. Then you should lose the fight against your other best friend.
Oh, I know how to defeat my best friend. I know how to defeat Jimmy. So I just put a sign that says you must be this tall to walk into my house, and then I'm safe forever.
I can buy
That's
some of
fucked
those
up, bro. I'm
Milo's
only
secretly.
5'5". That's so sad.
Oh no, it's biologically like it won't let you walk through because it knows your body is short. You can't put
I'm
stilts
not the
on to
shortest
walk
guy
through.
on panel. Oh, awesome.
No, I'm the shortest guy on the panel. That's fucked up because I know I'm shorter
I
than
thought
you
you were going to say cardboard because cardboard is my kryptonite. I have this
That
thing
is
with
true.
cardboard. I cannot stand the touch of raw cardboard. That is my kryptonite. Like if you think I fucking hate touching
So
cardboard.
if you're saying when you're
Oh my
asleep,
God.
if we build a box around you with cardboard,
We don't have
you can
Hefty
stay
here
in
to
bed?
keep us on track. We're supposed to be talking about Batman, guys.
Oh,
Hefty,
yeah.
where are you? Where's Hefty?
But the only reason that Batman wins every fight is because Superman lets him. Let's be honest. He could have killed him in an instant in all of the fights, but he held back because he's an idiot.
You know why he holds back? Why do you know that name?
Martha.
And I can tell you, I do not remember a single thing about that movie except for that line. Martha, why do you know that name? That's the only part of that movie I remember. And then Wonder Woman showed up, and I was like, "Oh, she's sexy." That's about it.
The fight scene leading up to that wasn't bad though. Like that was a good fight scene leading up to that Martha shit, and then it's like, what the fuck are we doing now? Like, holy!
I think it's once I saw who was playing Lex Luthor, I was like, I'm done with that fucking movie.
Yeah, because he was too like trying to be Lex and Joker at the same time. He was just being too like.
They should have just got Michael Rosenbaum to come back as Lex. It would have been awesome.
I think that would have been a great idea. I think those two would have fit great together because I love that movie up until that scene where he goes, "Why did you say that name?" And I'm like, because it's a common fucking name, Bruce. A lot of people are named Martha. It's not just your mother. You're gonna tell me you only know one Martha in your whole life?
Yeah. Well, the scene in the Dark Knight Returns, the comic, that scene in the comics was so fucking good and so fucking brutal, where Batman humbles Superman. Like he doesn't just beat him, he fucking humbles him. And then Batman, has a heart attack. But like he left Clark Kent fucking a wreck. Like he fucking humbled him. He's like, shit. He got his ass kicked in the comics. And for them to chicken shit out of that in this movie, like that really pissed me off. Like
I get that.
Yeah.
I
hated the way they did his Doomsday, like kind of like scrawny and lanky, but still kind of jacked. It was like, no, like
I'm so sick of CGI monsters, man. Like
that's what I'm saying. Our movie, whatever we make, has to be practical. Has to be practical, 100%.
I agree with
that.
That
that goes into what bad guy you want, because like it would be hard to do Killer Croc practical. All right,
but it could be
very hard.
I mean, unless you find a dude who's like 6'7", 6'8", and like cover him in paint, like give him like a prosthetic that gives him the.
You could do that practically. That it's like if you look at the first.
I'd rather see King Shark than Killer Croc, though.
Well,
really well done.
You take the first Underworld movie; that was all practical effects.
And they did a good job with that movie.
Take that team of folks and put them on your Batman movie. I want all practical effects. That's going to be the selling point.
No, I agree with that. That would make it stand out from everything else that's covered in fucking crap.
People are fucking sick of CGI at this point, man. Like it's.
I kind of want the old school back, like when everything was made in suits,
spandex,
or
and plastic,
puppets, stop motion, whatever it was, to give you that feel that it was real. Without when you over real it, it makes it unreal. If that makes any sense.
Did you ever see before the Ang Lee Hulk came out? They had another Hulk that was in the works, but it was practical.
Really? No, I didn't.
The practical effects, like it's a legit fucking 9 foot tall practical effect Hulk that they had fully fucking built and functional. Like
interesting that I didn't know.
I'm sad I missed that.
Yeah, me too. Like I didn't know that.
But they went with the CGI. And I like the Ang Lee Hulk. Don't get me wrong; it was cool. It had some cool scenes. The story sucked.
It had
Sam Elliott where he's jumping around, goes running, hits the ground, runs over, jumps again.
It had a couple of cool scenes. Again, I'm a scene guy. It had some scenes that made it worth the price of the ticket. But the overall movie wasn't that good.
But all Batman movies, I think, should all done practical effect. I don't like CGI. Like if you have to do CGI, I want you to do CGI like how they did CGI in Evil Dead 2013. Like they did very little CGI just to try to blend some scenes.
Yeah, you can
They didn't
enhance.
just
Exactly.
they didn't do a whole thing of CGI. Like look at this whole CGI demon, you know?
Yeah.
So that it has to be practical, and you can do a little CGI to clean it up.
As good as CGI is nowadays, though, our brains, you still pick it up.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how realistic it looks or anything, you pick it up. You just know it's CGI. And for whatever reason, it costs like 10 times more to do it in CGI than practical. So it's like, just do the practical shit, man. Like,
So not to get off of Batman really quick,
Yeah.
but I have to bring Ojisan up to where he loves. What did you think about Deadpool and Wolverine? I just got to know because I love that movie. I've watched it since
Oh,
I bought it like
I
7
went
times.
and watched it Thursday on the opening night. I got to see it.
I went to see it that weekend. I bought the tickets 2 months in advance so I could go see it that weekend.
So as soon as I got out of the movie, of course, first person to text me is Travis. How was the movie? How was the movie? I'm like, it was a fucking 11 out of 10. Like it was
agree.
the best Deadpool movie. And he was kind of skeptical of that at first. And I'm like, you'll see, man, you'll see. Like it just, I didn't think it was going to work. And even halfway through the movie, I was like, oh fuck, this ain't going to work. Like, yeah, but then it worked. And I was like,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It is, but if you look at that movie, like how much was CGI and how much was practical, right? So if you look at it, when they were fighting through the whole,
sadly.
yeah, but when they were fighting through the bus and stuff with all the Deadpool core,
Mhm.
like the backdrops and stuff, and like some of the extra stuff was CGI, but they actually did the practical effects. They were doing all the fighting as it was going through.
Yep.
But you could definitely tell at the very end when they bust out the back of the bus how
It went
CGI it
full
was.
CGI, yep.
And then you're
Because
just
when
like,
he pops up and does the shake, you're like, oh, that's
Like,
not
our
right.
eye
Yeah,
just
Wolverine
sees
standing
it
there like
now,
a Mortal
and-
Kombat character.
and that's where I'm like, so we can see it that way now. So our eyes just train for it. So that's why if you're going to do CG, it has to be like just cleaning stuff up. Can't be the main character, can't be the main focus of the scene.
Yeah.
Or it'll
I agree
mess
with
up.
CGI
that.
blood pisses me off when a movie does
Mhm.
CGI blood. It's like that. I mean, I give Deadpool a pass because like it was
Deadpool.
good and it fit, but just when it's just all fucking CGI nonstop, man, I can't stand it. You know, it's like the Avengers
with that.
movies. It takes you out after a while. Like, you know,
Fair enough.
Endgame
So-
was phenomenal. Like Endgame, Logan, Deadpool, and Wolverine. You know those are kind of my favorite Marvel movies.
I agree.
But you know everything after Endgame has just sucked until this fucking Deadpool.
I mean, they've had a few. I don't want to say great movies, but they've had some good ones, and even the shows. Like I love WandaVision. I love Loki. I loved Guardians 3, but everything else has been hit and miss for me. I'm just like, that's not good. But those are the ones when like I go back to rewatch something. Those are the ones I'll rewatch.
It's just too much, and that's
When
why like,
Endgame was over,
Yeah.
Marvel was done for me. Like
Yeah,
I haven't paid to see another Marvel movie. I don't have Disney, so I don't watch the shows.
It was
I
bad
don't care
enough to
about
just have to
WandaVision.
watch the main movies that came out to keep up with the storyline, but then it's like, okay, you got to watch these 5 movies and these
Yep.
2 TV
And
shows,
these
and this and
they
that,
all-
or you won't fucking know what's going on, and it's like,
And
That's
how
my
how,
one,
how
like,
is
complaint with
how
them.
is Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom as Victor Von Doom? How?
He's a
How are they
variant.
gonna but
He's
a variant. All variants are like all variants of Loki is still Loki. All
But
variants,
all variants
of,
of Spider-Man are not Spider-Man. And Chris Evans proved in Deadpool and Wolverine he can be the same like actor, but 2 different people. Because in that one, he was the Human Torch. And we know him as Captain America.
Yeah. No,
so I
but
can
see,
see it, but I want to
No,
know
no.
how.
the reason that doesn't work is because every Steve Rogers is Steve Rogers. He was not Steve Rogers, so he was 2 completely different people. In the multiverse or in the thing, every Peter Parker is still Peter Parker. He just has different lifestyles and different stuff. every Loki is Loki. So how is every fucking Robert Downey Jr. fucking Iron Man, not Iron Man, but Tony Stark.
Dr. Doom.
Every Victor Von Doom is Victor Von Doom.
My biggest problem with it is there's a ton of other actors.
I think we're the only ones watching, so I think we're good.
I mean, we got 5 views right now, so that's 3 of us.
There were so many other actors that they could have got to play Dr. Doom. You know,
I agree with that.
You could took a Jensen Ackles, who's fixing the like.
Oh, I would love Jensen Ackles.
Or Anthony Starr.
Not even gonna lie, I really want him to be
If you took Anthony Starr and made him Dr. Doom, shit. Homelander.
Cillian Murphy would have been a great Dr. Doom.
It's like, just there's a lot of good actors out there, but again, we're stuck in this IP shit where he's recognized, and they've spent more money on casting already than the movie.
And you're in the whole movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's gonna be that stone, like he'll be the Doom we need to get us out of the nonsense they made of the multiverse saga that could have been amazing. Like you got the blueprints, bro. They're in the comic books. Read the fucking comic books. Yeah. And you shit so hard on the whole thing where I hope he's like that version of Doom and we get another version of Doom once they combined all the shit together.
You want him to combine and be like God Emperor Doom?
Yeah.
No, like what I want to happen is that Doom to when they combined everything, and then I feel like it's going to be Wanda who rebuilds everything because that's what Wanda has. She's got that magic to rebuild it and restart the universe. And when she reboots
they said she died in Multiverse of Madness.
Did she really die? Because when it crushes, there's the red light.
No, you don't have to worry because there's no stakes because they'll just go to the multiverse and get another Wanda.
Exactly, that's my point. That's why we can still get a good Doom. He just might be the Doom to lead us to another Doom that'll be better.
Here's how I would end the multiverse.
We've totally got off Batman, so we'll just close this out with Marvel.
Well,
my bad. I asked the question.
I'm fine with this.
Since they're bringing the Sentry in and Thunderbolts, right? You have the Sentry go to the TVA. He breaks into the thing and rips Loki in half, thus breaking all the sacred timelines into one. Like,
wait, can we actually have him grabbing Loki and
just fucking guts?
I mean, we don't have to see it, but just like when he pulls it apart, he's holding the two halves this way and just drops them. Like, you don't have to see the actual pull apart or any of that, but the whole like visual of him just grabbing Loki by the head and going straight down the middle, I think would set the tone for what's left to come. Like, nobody's fucking safe at this point. Everyone might die.
Yeah. No saving him. And then you could set up the whole Asgard in Oklahoma siege. Yeah. Where Thor's pissed off.
I watched Marvel movies. One for a good Hulk, not pansy ass Ruffalo. I fucking hate that guy.
Are we talking about Edward Norton? Because he's my favorite Hulk.
I would love to have Edward Norton, but I thought Banner did a good job too. I think he did a good job as well. I think Ruffalo is the worst Bruce Banner, but again, timid. this is Marvel's Bruce Banner, so it's always got to be fucking jokes and always stupid stuff. Like, they can't take a character serious. Even a serious character, every 2 sentences is another fucking joke for another laugh, or a screaming goat, or something.
Go. Fuck Professor Hulk. I'm so like that was the worst thing.
I hated that. Like, that's the one thing about Endgame I hated. I was like, no.
We really gotta talk, buddy.
I watched it also for Captain America. He's not coming back. Now we have Falcon as Captain America, which I know he did in the comics, but nobody wants that shit. We liked him as Falcon, not as Captain America. Nobody is going to see new Captain America movie, New Order or whatever.
Will we still be mad though? Like, say that turns out to actually be a good Captain movie. Like, are we gonna be mad or be like, okay, like you're not Chris Evans, but
no, you don't understand. Like, I'm a totally principled guy. I don't care if it's good. He should not be playing Captain America because he only did it in like 6 comics, in a 6 comic series. He should have handed it off to Bucky. Bucky would have been the more understandable takeover for Captain America.
What if that's what they do with it, though? What if by the end of all this, he hands the shield to Bucky and he becomes?
They already said they weren't going to do it. That was the whole reason they thought they were going to do that with the show Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but they didn't do it. And the director and Disney said they will never do that. He will be Captain America from here on out. That is what Disney said. And I go by their word because they're putting out that shitty Snow White with the brown chick as Snow White. So yes, I take Disney as their word. When they say they're going to do something fucking stupid, they're going to go over the fucking mountain of stupid.
Which makes me sad because I feel like after everything that Buck's been through at this point, he might be the best choice for Captain America now because he's like tried to make amends with everything he's done in the past. Like he knows what Steve went through. Like he's not the same Bucky who was in Endgame. Like he's grown at this point. I think if they're going to do this, they need to end it with fucking Sam giving him the shield going, this is for you. I can't hold this mantle. And then going on with him as the new Captain America.
I think they need to make the Captain America movie where he's putting all the stones back.
Yeah. And then
I've always wanted to see that.
With his
I'm not
wife,
gonna lie, I do want to see that.
Yeah.
But I also watch it for Iron Man, Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But now Tony Stark is dead, but I have to see him as Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. It took that impact away.
I quit caring after Endgame. I did not even see the Eternals. I haven't seen Shang-Chi. I haven't watched
Shang-Chi's good. Eternals is
Shang-Chi was I would give it
Spider-Man movie, but that's Sony.
10, you know. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was all right.
No, I agree with that.
It could have been a TV show.
I do not care about Marvel. Like there is no movie that's coming out that on their slate unless the only movie I would want to see is another Deadpool or Wolverine movie or Blade with Snipes coming back. We just proved that he could.
F4? You want to see F4?
No.
Really? I love the Fantastic Four. And if they get it right,
who's the main character? Who's the main actor
with them so much, like if they bring a good Fantastic Four in, I would be okay with that.
Excited. I'm excited for Galactus. I'll say that.
Yeah, but
as long as they do him right and he's not a fucking cloud in the sky this time.
Oh my God.
You know why I don't care about Fantastic Four? When you think of Silver Surfer, who do you think of?
Norman Rad or Rand, whatever his name is.
Rad. Yeah, Rad.
Thank you.
R-A-D-D. Do you think of a female? Do you think of the female Silver Surfer that was in one comic in 1994?
I mean, they're trying to diversify, which I get, but I understand your point. Because I'm the same way. Like, I've got that Silver Surfer on my shelf is Rand. He's right behind me. Like that's my surfer, so I get it.
And also, I've seen what's his face and Mandalorian and The Last of Us and all that stuff, and I'm so sick of seeing
Pedro
Pascal. I think he is a horrible pick for Reed Richards. I think they had it right with Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, I think John Krasinski should have been, and they should have brought him back to do it. And I think that's what I'm saying.
And it hurt me when they just.
I hate it when that was a fan favorite and they put it in the movie because they're like, they'll really like this and we'll never have to talk about it again. Oh, and look, he's spaghetti. Have a good fucking day. Spaghetti.
Exactly.
Spaghetti.
Like that scene pissed me off. Like the whole part where he's like, Wanda, he could kill you with just a whisper. And it was like, you're the smartest man on the fucking planet. Why would you tell a witch that his voice could kill her? Like,
and no, I completely agree. He is a great actor. I'm just so sick of seeing him in every fucking thing.
No, I get that.
The only thing that I've really loved him in was the Nicolas Cage movie where Nicolas Cage was playing himself.
Oh. I haven't watched it. Is it good? I have not watched it.
It is. If you love Nicolas Cage, we're all sidebar. We're about to close this out anyway. Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Nick,
what are
you watching that said the same thing?
What about Pickles Cage? Or what
Pickle
about
Cage?
Pickle Nick? That's an actual Christmas ornament, by the way. So today was supposed to be all about Batman, but we got sidetracked at the end. But we talked a lot about Batman today.
We
did
gave
talk a lot
Batman
about
a good hour and 45 minutes, man. That's a long time.
I hope
seriously,
everybody
that was a good
enjoyed.
chat.
Yeah.
So I have to say, boys, can we do this again? Because there's not a lot of times I get to like nerd the fuck out like this, and this has been more fun than I can express to both of you. And I am so grateful you guys wanted to come do this with me. Anytime you guys want to come on the show, let me know. I will send you the link. Like, we need to do this again. This was a fucking blast for me.
You
I'm down
have
for it.
our number, and trust me, there's a lot of nerd talks that we could have.
We're not doing anything special. This is every conversation with us goes this direction.
I feel like at least once a month now, I'm gonna make one show just for us to nerd the fuck out, because I need this more. Like, I can't express to you guys how much this is good for me.
Yeah.
I haven't
it's
been
good.
able
It's
to
good thing
nerd out with
Hefty left,
anyone in
you know?
so long, and I'm so happy I got to nerd out tonight, because I love Hefty to death, but he's straight up horror. I get it. That's my girl. Like, her and Hefty like talk about these movies all the time. It's not a lot of times I get a chance to like let my nerd flag fly. So this was amazing for me. So thank you both so fucking much for being here tonight. This, no idea of how much this meant to me. No idea.
We have many a topic, so
Yeah.
you can.
There's so much to cover. Like, I'm down. Like, if we can do this once a month, I'm great with this. Or
So
even twice
I
a
want
month.
you. Here's a dream casting. I just want you to vision this in your head. Batman versus Deathstroke, but it's Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds again.
Wait, who's Batman and who's
Hugh
Deathstroke?
Jackman is Batman. Ryan Reynolds is Deathstroke.
Oh man, this Honda Odyssey fucks hard.
It's on the
Unlike you, Needle Dick.
You're the one.
Greatest line in the whole movie, by the way.
I think the scene with him like just shutting down him real quick. He's like, God's best trick is the fact that we've got to live with your ass the whole time because you can't die. Is my favorite scene in that whole movie.
I'm gonna fight you now.
Oh, so fucking mad.
Boom!
He died
He's like,
because of
oh,
murder.
we're gonna fight now.
I'm gonna fight
No.
you.
Look, it's an ice cream truck. They're practically triage centers. No, they're not. Why are you stopping?
If we're gonna like end it with this, I have to say, if they keep Gambit, please bring back Channing Tatum. I think his Gambit was so fucking good. Like, just the one-liners that man had.
Everybody
Woo!
hated me for
Big
saying
name
that I
for
loved him
myself.
as Gambit. I
Like, he
loved
was
him as
so
Gambit.
good.
I don't
Like,
like
please bring
Gambit,
him back.
but I liked him as Gambit.
All right, y'all ready to get out of here, guys? I gotta get some food in me.
No worries,
But,
guys. Well,
thank
thank
you.
everyone for being here. Like and share down below. Groovy's channel and Ojisan's is down below. Like and subscribe to both of their channel, because if you like what we did here tonight, you'll like what they do when we're not here together. On that note, as we always end the show, be nice to somebody, because you don't know what's going on in their life, and your kindness might change their day. So on that note, we will see you tomorrow, because me and Hefty will be on Tom and Amy's Paranormal Mysteries at 3 p.m. for our Halloween show. So check that out, and then we'll be back live next Wednesday, hopefully with my brother and my friend Aaron, and we're going to do something there. And then Thursday is my Halloween show, where it's a costume party, so I don't know what we're doing just yet. I'll figure that out as we go. But other than that, thank you guys all for being here, and have a wonderful night.
All right.
Do it, guys.
Y'all take care. Love yous.